Okay. I can breathe. Teams have been pinged. I'm in the game. We got everything taken care of. I'm sweating a little bit. I really... Again, when we get delayed, it makes me a nervous wreck. See, look at that. I haven't done a hair check. I should have done a hair check. Anyway, that said, well, I'm sweating, but I'm thankful for these teams for waiting, honestly, because they just spent the last half hour. I'm glad we can cast those last two games. On that note, I'm not complaining whatsoever. I breathe anxiety, okay? I love it. It leaves me feeling so nervous. But I'm happy we have to stream all three of these games, or are about to, because we got Chimera, we got Spectral starting right now. These two teams in the gold division, 13-9, or 13 and 9 for Spectral, 12 and 8 for Chimera. So two teams, you know, definitely feeling good this season and at the top of their game. Again, you start getting to this mid-season, the last third of the season, you start getting more of those wins, a lot more wins than losses. I mean, that's the kind of stuff you love to be able to carry, because as we get later into the season, that's just going to be able to push you that extra inch. And obviously every little win, every big win, is going to mean all the more for these Challenger Cups, for the Master Division, and for teams who are seeking to get there. We're seeing a lot of matches this weekend with implications exactly like that, as a matter of fact. And still plenty more to come. It is a super tight race right now in terms of who is going to be in that Challengers Cup. And it's going to come down basically to the end of tomorrow night. So, with that, round one, about to start. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Alright, in the books. Please tell me I've got the team's overlays on the right side. I messed that up a couple times today. Looks good. We're good. Alright, so Spectral. With a disc here first, it's Snake, oh whoa, and Spider, oh whoa, and Drum and Sam, as well as Flare. Of course, Flare, very often seen there in the Twitch chat, and redeeming as well. These teams redeeming these matches to be played on stream for you. We'll be on the side of Chimera trying to defend against Flare. Wolverine, Dune, Cthulhu, Chubby Asian. And glad to see these guys back on the stream as well. Of course, Wolverine, one of our casters here in VR Master League. And great to see Wolverine, you know, again on stream and on the climb. And with that, it's a Wolverine with the Joust and sending it over to Dune. So Dune over onto teammate there was at Cthulhu, and Cthulhu, speaking of, gets the disc right back. So Cthulhu trying to get the 2 for Chubby Asian, but a great save from Drummond. Drummond up the defense, beat by beat, not making anything easy. With that said, it's going to be another attempt coming down from Cthulhu, and the Devil, you know, gets the 2 points. See, Emerald in the chat. Let's see, now that I'm actually at my final match of this cast, the anxiousness, the anxiety is now calming. See, because I know I've got no one else waiting and counting on me to be there when I said I was going to be there. So I'm good. I can actually say hi to chat now. And with that, hello. Well, hello and welcome. It's been fun. It's been nuts. We've had records broken here tonight in VRML. Been something to behold for sure. And with that, Snake Owo trying to get a hold on the disc, but gets stunned. That's going to be sent to the midfield. Spider recovers. So a lot of brawls here in the bubble. Meanwhile, some gradual work up the floor. You can see the great passes, the great connections, definitely prioritizing the next pass. They're aware of where it's going before it's going there. As you can see, I mean, Flare, nearly the conversion. Didn't quite get the shot, but I still love the passes. They strung along, what, probably 6 in a row, all the way up the field to make that happen again. They're going to do it once more. So Snake around the back before the pass, a little too strong. Sails towards that Echo logo. That's going to be cleared now to the deep end. And the deep blue, maybe even a 3, nearly off the backboard, careening to the side panel. Chubby will be there with a disc and finding the post pass. And nope, post all alone. Post Malone, maybe. Not music to their ears though, as they will miss a shot. Another great grab there coming into the trap off of a clear as Chubby gets the disc right back. And when I talk about Post Malone, I of course mean Sir Dimwee. Our post imitator. And right now, not an imitator whatsoever. Drummond again. Drummond, Sam doing it all, but unfortunately was brawled. So the stun guaranteed the goal that time around. And Cthulhu going to town. 4-2. Feels good to breathe. Bold Tune boys in the chat saying my team hasn't been casted yet, but appreciate your dedication to casting and allowing lower level teams to be in the spotlight. Absolutely, it's a huge priority for sure, because I think more than anything else, that was one of the biggest takeaways I took from transitioning from VRL ESL to VRML. Is just the volume of cast. You know, having a league where we can get everyone possible, you know, streamed from any division and for hours and hours every day, instead of just, you know, a couple hours every 1 to 2 weeks. No, we got a couple hours every day, sometimes 4 or 5 hours every day. So definitely proud, like a source of pride, I think, for our whole league, is to be able to feature as many people as we can. So with that said, thank you for the nice message. Really hope to get you streamed soon. And all the teams that we can stream soon. Of course, those channel point rewards, part of it, right? So if you tune into these streams and support VRML just by watching, you earn channel points, and you can use those channel points to guarantee some casts, as that is almost sent into the goal off a long bounce. But Flair ducking and having to kind of what's the word? Improvise. Was initially intending the anchor, the Joker play of sorts, the Joker train. Now his fellow trainee got stunned, so had to adjust, but credit to Flair, didn't panic and tied it up at 2 apiece. Now Swift also with a, hey, 99, I got 99 problems, and your bit is 1. You made it 100. Thank you very much to Swift, who of course was joining us for those last 2 casts here on stream, on the casting end of things. So glad to have Swift on board. But let's see, they're chasing it down now for Spectral. Will be taken by Wolverine instead. Did anyone, I didn't check, did anyone bet some massive points this time around? Or were all the points expent on the Oculusator side? I feel bad. I do. But then again, Oculusator is usually in the chat quite a bit, so honestly, you can. It takes 15k points to get a channel redemption for like a cast, 15k, and at the rate that we cast, technically speaking, even if you're not using channel point bets, you can get that in a week or 2 of watching, depending if you're subscribed or not. But I'm sure he'll be fine. Not gonna lose any sleep. Up here though to Wolverine, Wolverine to Chubby with the what was that? Lost the disc on the way into the drive. It still went in anyway. Maybe that was on purpose. New meta, perhaps. That might have been on purpose. Maybe I didn't give it enough credit. That looked like it may have been. I'm not gonna say for 100% sure, but that actually looked like it may have been on the second look there. You know, this is a night of new things for me. Never mind the fact that I've casted 1,000 games. I am seeing new things left and right in the span of the last 2 hours alone, it seems like. We're gonna roll with it. I'm a fan. Over here though, it's Flair with a disc and a soft one down to Drum and Sam. So Drum and Sam with the disc, gonna send it over to the barrier, but unfortunately was covered pretty well by Chubby and Chimera. Now as it careens into the blue, it's gonna be Drum and Sam the take back, but Snake on the reception has it stolen off of a stun. Dune is there as well. Chimera now with some offense, maybe, but won't last all too long, as it goes back to the midfield where they'll have to reset it once again. Yeah, Swift pointing out some really unusual stats and scores we're seeing in these matches, but they have been supremely entertaining, as has that man, Drum and Sam! Call him Uncle Sam, because right now that is America's goalie! Shout out Illuma Duty, by the by. But some nuts saves coming in from Drummond. Every which way. Now, if they can get some points off of that, that is the more important thing, clearly, is being able to finish on it. Spider's there trying to do just that, but not able to do so. Wit actually malding right now. And it sounds accurate. He is the most temperamental person I'm just kidding. Wit's actually probably the most, one of the most chill people, period, that I've had the pleasure of playing with and being on the team with. But yeah, that said, it's going to be sent over into the orange lane here. Wolverine is in the area, but it will be Snake Owo with a recovery for Spectral. Very close match, a little bit lower scoring, but not for a lack of action, certainly. And a anchor a shot taken. Not really an anchor necessarily, I don't know what I'm saying. But anyway, you know, lower scoring, but not for a lack of action between these two teams. In the last 2 minutes, 2-point difference, that all that means is that it's anyone's match to win now. It's gonna come down to who makes the fewer amount of mistakes. And Dune almost taking that 3, recovered, rebounded by Chubby. They'll have another go at this. Could make it a, nope, make it a 4-point advantage, instead backing it out again. So a score here would be huge in terms of gaining them enough buffer to potentially win this round. And there it is, right on the head as well of Spider, as Spider got stunned. So with that, there's that buffer I mentioned, 4-point lead. Of course, it doesn't guarantee the win yet, not by any stretch, but it does at least give them breathing room, because if you're on Chimera now, you just want to deny threes, basically. First of all, you want to make them score twice at, you know, minimum to force an overtime if they score at all. But you don't want to give up any kind of threes here, you know, and with that, I mean, 47 seconds left. You know, even if they don't score again, even if they just stall off of this ding, they'll still be okay. But as I said, if they lose the disc, no threes, no threes, no threes. Because then you give a chance for them to take a game-winning shot the next joust around, but won't be necessary as Chubby Asian gets the 10-point total. Could be potentially the last score here of this round. Gonna be about 12 seconds off the clock as we launch out for one final time. So Spectral, still an opportunity to score. But whatever they do here, they're gonna have to just take it into round 2. Alright, so launching. 7 seconds left, and actually losing the handles on the disc for a little bit. Sailing to the midfield. And we'll be Cthulhu there in the vicinity, but either or, first round, Chimera, finally in that last minute. And it really did come down to the last minute. They were able to get just enough separation on the scoreboard to more comfortably, you know, go into the second round. But we've seen Flare plenty on streams here. We've seen Drummond, Snake, Spider, we've seen all of Spectral several times recently. Some of them because of their redemptions, some of them just because, you know, they were available and we wanted to cast their matches and they were, you know, they were on stream. And whatever the case was, I would not be surprised. In fact, I'm kind of expecting this just to be another round 3 on stream again, but we'll see. Caster's curse aside, you know, we'll see. Oops. Sorry, I didn't realize I didn't take you to the score screen there. Just getting my hydration on. But yeah, first round. Oh, I reversed my scores also. It's 10-4 the opposite way. But yeah, you know, for again, both these teams, they both have more wins than losses, several more in fact. So it's just a testament to the skill level, and why I'm saying I'm still expecting a round 3. I mean, no pressure. I see flares in the chat now. No pressure, but I mean, a 13-9 record for Spectral, 12-8 record for Chimera, both here in the gold division, both the rounded MMR 1180, and yeah, it's going to be. It was a good round, and I'm expecting a good second, especially. And you know, right now for Chimera, they're coming off of a win against Team Slushy, loss against Fighting Entropy, and then a win against Side Note in the last week and a half or so. For Spectral, coming off a win against the Retro Rejects, and they did drop 2 games versus Slap Babies and Noise. But prior to that, they had also won 4 matches in a row. So overall, very successful last month or so of VRML for Spectral and Chimera. Cordage, gonna hate you. If you're about to say Dr. Pepsi or anything of that sort, I'm going to. Wait, never mind. I'm a VRML official. I'm not going to do anything publicly. Look what you just made me do. You just made me put round 1 instead of 2. This is all your fault, Cordage. This is some discordage happening at the moment. As a result, you're gonna have to listen to this again. Round 2, for real this time. And hopefully they don't score before this transitions out. There we go. All right. So with that, round 2 underway. And here we go. So into the recovery there, it's Cthulhu with a disc, 30 seconds off the clock as a burst of speed and punches comes through. Wolverine now on the backboard, offering an avenue maybe for the pass, kind of hanging up there, just chilling. Just chilling. And there's a bounce pass attempt, but not quite there. But again, rebound. Chubby Asian, right spot, right place, right time. Dune couldn't find it. It will be Snake taking it, and Drummond as well, snagging it out of Snake's hands. What is Snake trying to steal the steal, basically, or steal the save, I guess. But with that, it's still gonna be Cthulhu with a disc. Chimera still has some offensive opportunities here. They're spaced out quite nicely. You can see again, top, bottom, middle, a lot of spacing, and look at that, the cut all in conjunction. What a night this has been. The interesting ways that teams are scoring the last 2 hours continues to drive me through the wall, just about. Okay. What were you gonna do, Cordage, by the way? What was I going to hate you for? I'm curious now. If it wasn't going to be a Dr. Pepsi comment, what was it going to be? Nonetheless, over to Flair. Flair taking that out is Wolverine on that recovery. Wolverine, of course, again, mentioning not only a VRML caster, but the times that we've casted him. Notable for the saves. A beast is Wolverine in more ways than one. That's why he has some movies. That said, not moving in the goal, it's Drummond Sam again, but getting stunned, and Wolverine ends up going goalie on goalie violence, essentially, saying, you know what? That was a nice save, Drummond, but I'm gonna be getting this one in. And it ain't fair. But it's just the reality of it, you know? Goalies get stunned, and you gotta punish. Nice save, though. Nice save. Gotta give full credit to Drummond, who's been really putting on some great saves all I mean, I'm just saying. There you go. Another grab there. Now, it may or may not have been in. It was pretty close to the pocket there. But still, the reflexes are impeccable from this guy. Or girl. I'm not quite sure. I'm not going to assume. All I know is that they are fiery hot in the defensive lane. I'm super impressed by what I'm seeing. Dune there! You know, sometimes you just need the slow ball to get it finally to fall. Doesn't matter if it's Echo Arena or baseball. You know, 15 meter per second, kind of a more casual throw. Got it past the goalie. But honestly, that is a good strategy to employ sometimes. You see it from time to time because the goalies anticipate these super fast, you know, shots with a lot of heat coming off them. Sometimes if you just drive it in and then throw a more casual one, funnily enough, those are the ones that actually get through the goalie from time to time. Now a fling into Drummond Sam. Could have been in had Drummond not been there. Chubby with a recovery. Now has the alley-oop, a little too beyond the reach of Wolverine. I'm trying to catch up because I'm still curious on what I was going to be offended about. Very annoying words. Was it going to be supercalifragilisticexpialidocious? Because I'll give you one right there. That one's been redeemed a handful of times now this season, but Dune here with it over to the opposite wall. Taken by Snake. So first round win going to Chimera. So far the second round looking very similar on the results, but Flair has 6 minutes to make something happen, but a stun, just a drive-by from Dune and Chubby, and denying any opportunity at some offense. So, as I said, a lot of time, but I would still call this kind of desperation mode in a sense for Spectral. After losing one round, you don't want to be in the position where you're feeling like you're in a hurry and you're in a rush and you're on your heels constantly for these last, 5 to 6 minutes. You don't want to be there. That said, that shot is not going to be there because guess who? Drummond Sam! Man, oh man. Does it again. I gotta take a look. 8 saves, at least, for Drummond. I'm continuing to be impressed. The thing is, the offense is where it's lacking at the moment with the lack of points. They're getting a lot of chances, but they've just not been able to convert. The defense being super aggressive. You see it right there again, but Flair somehow looks like he stiff arms the diving defender and does great harm for the 2 points on the board. Finally for Spectral. Took 5 minutes of action just about.
9, 8, 7, 6.
Camden also stopping by in the chat, and yeah, Camden. Speaking of someone we saw some great saves and scores from, good games for sure. Glad to get you guys streamed, and yeah, hope to see you again really soon for sure. But Cthulhu here is gonna send it up the floor to Wolverine. Has the cross cutter. Chubby was stunned, however, Snake and Chubby both stunning each other out. That's another flinger from Wolverine, I think that was, and will be dinged off the top of the rim. Now has some opportunities for, or leaving some opportunities now for Spectral, I should say, to, again, punish off of these. You know, they had a chance there for Chimera to push ahead by more. Didn't get it, so for Spectral, I want to see them try and slow it down a little bit. You know, get some of these passes through if they can. Get that communication flowing, and they'll still be fine. 4 minutes left, only down by 5 points. Now let's see, another one going to Wolverine this time up high, and direct dive into the goal.
12, 11, 10, 9,
And also shout out to Zara
7, 6,
and Emerald
5,
and Frank.
3,
Do I still play Echo competitively? Asking me. Nope, I do not. I'm also actually, contrary to semi-popular belief, not allowed anymore to play. At least as long as I'm doing, you know, VRML stuff on the org level. But that's okay. You know, as I always say, being able to cast on stream here, basically I get to be part of 340 teams instead of just one. That's how I like to look at it as a caster. Because yeah, at the end of the day, I get to be in every day. I get to be in the arena in a competitive match, and I get all the excitement without nearly as much of the stress and pressure. So, win-win in my book. But that said, over to the midfield, Wolverine, and don't get me wrong, I do miss it sometimes, but as I said, this is rewarding in its own right for sure. Watching these teams do what they do. There's Flare with a stun right at the outer edge of the bubble. More stuns happening on the opposite side. Cthulhu with a disc, Cthulhu off the backboard and getting it into the pocket. What a hit! 11-2. Chimera now showing up in full force in this round.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7,
And Oculus Satyr with almost has to be sarcastic. Only, I mean, I would appreciate it normally, but Oculus. See, I've known Oculus Satyr there since basically the very beginning, right? 2017 beta days and such. But with that said, I would say that about Oculus Satyr in terms of 1v4ing anyone. In terms of me, I had never 1v1'd people for that matter. I was much more of a facilitator, initiator, midfielder, etc. It was everyone else on my team who was doing all the 1v4'ing. And basically, the first half of Season 1 of ESL was just me watching Lemming go 1v3 on people. Literally, I'm not even exaggerating. It was just, I was sat in the midfield, I watched Lemming go 1v3 for the first 4 months of action. After that, we finally became more of a, you know, team, because we needed to be, but... that said, what a team play there from Cthulhu to Wolverine. That is rocking right now on the cutting and the connections, you know, just flawlessly communicated clearly between these players on Chimera right now. Executed nicely. What are my thoughts on potatoes? Well, if you were in that last match, you saw a lot of potatoes being thrown. That is to say, some haymakers from Hammer. Man, oh man, still gonna be dwelling on that one for the next couple weeks. But 136 stuns in 3 rounds, 99 stuns in 2 rounds. Just for those who were not tuned into that match. Yeah. Individual stunning record was set tonight for VRML. That is. Now Cthulhu with the disc here, sending it off to Chubby. Chubby, a bouncer, looking for maybe that you know, bouncing goal. We've seen a lot of those as of late. We saw some of those in venues earlier, in fact, several of them for those venues matches. But you know, down 13-2, last minute of play here, and Chimera just showing up pretty decisively in this round. Suffice to say, very impressed with what they've done. You know, this was not going to be an easy game for either of these teams, considering both of these teams have, again, 4 or 5 more wins and losses on the season here in this division. So really impressive to be able to put on this kind of show, as they will close out the round and the match here in just the next 15 seconds. Now deep into the midline, maybe time for one more score, will be Cthulhu. And Cthulhu, the Cthulhu 3. Why not? 16-2. The story of the round, I suppose, because they have just been on fire. But yeah, the win, going the way of Chimera. Chimera, remind me, is that 2 heads, 3 heads? What am I thinking of? Thinking of Hydra, aren't I? Anyway, neither here nor there. That will be the conclusion of this one. I know we have, most probably, I'm gonna be switching off camera duties with someone else here, because we do have some master matches starting in the next 6 minutes or so, I believe, right? So yeah, I'm sure someone will be taking my spot, and if not, I guess I'll continue to be here. I just haven't been able to catch up yet, so... With that, though, we'll go to the score screen, take a look at that, of course, courtesy IgniteVR.gg. As ever, always, of course, we'll be seeing some Ignite, I do believe, tomorrow on the streams, potentially there for venues, in fact, so... A lot of matches with a lot of implications that will be happening here over the course of the weekend. But right here, the implication behind this match, well, it just means Chimera gets to continue their build-up as they make a move, you know, with this record potentially towards Diamond in the future, going into the third cycle. You know, every one of these wins counts, and to have a 13-8 record now, that is definitely something to take pride in. But same thing here, you know, 13-10 for Spectral, that is still phenomenal in their own right. They've been playing and impressing with some entertaining matches. In fact, some of the recent matches for Spectral have been those game-winning shots and such that I've mentioned. Always exciting, always exciting. But alright, let's see. I didn't do a hair check again. Look at this, what is this doing right now? Anyway, as I continue to sweat it out, I'm going to check real quick for what is actually coming up on stream, just so you guys are informed. Because I have at least 5 minutes to spare. So let's see. Bring this over. Okay. So at the top of the hour, 5 minutes from now on this channel, okay, yeah, so we'll have Sir Dimwee casting and camming for Kings versus Ethereal. Meanwhile, over on presumably Channel 2, we've got Gen Z versus Barrage. That'll be casted as well. Glean, Wonder T-Man, and Doc Education. Which means there is a master match that has not been picked up. Which means I might be going over to Channel 2/3 in a second. I gotta get some water. Alright, well. Anomaly and Synapse, assuming that they are aware and haven't started at this point. I'll cast your match, don't you worry. I just need to prepare in the next 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to end the stream now on that note. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll probably be back on Channel 2 or 3 in the next few minutes, I suppose. Until then, be happy, healthy, safe, and be good to each other, and I'll see you again probably in like 2 minutes. Bye!